The past week has flipped MLB The Show on its head. The new All-Star drops have completely changed the landscape of Diamond Dynasty. So much so that the tier list from 2 weeks ago is already obsolete. So it's time to once again take all the best of the best cards within MLB The Show 25 and throw them on position-by-position tier list rankings. As always, I want to hear from you. Let me know your favorite cards you've had a chance to use throughout the MLB Draft, Home Run Derby, and All-Star Game. Leave a like if you guys do enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to ranking. The power creep speed has been cranked up to 11 within this past week, as we've got lots of 99s to put on the tier list today. As always, I want to preface, this tier list is primarily for online purposes, ranking cards that will be good online. And as I always say, use who you like. This is ultimately to try and help people get caught up if they've been missing some time, or to answer a question, do you think this guy's better than this guy? It's from an objective stat point of view, but if the swing plays for you, keep at it. So that being said, let's go ahead here. The catcher position, in my opinion, is not particularly close. There's one guy standing alone at S tier, and that is Mr. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. You truly just cannot get any better than this. He is basically maxed out, the best he could possibly be at every offensive statistical category. He is truly Ted Williams that can hit from both sides, and he's a catcher. In my mind, that is an absolute no-brainer. This is the best of the best. He will cost you right now. He's about 200K. In my opinion, worth it, because I don't think you're going to need to grab a new catcher all year. You go down to A tier, and I think there's a bit of a separation. These two right-handers, Mike Napoli and Will Smith, I think they do deserve a tier of their own. Truly, Will Smith, you're going to have maxed out contact with both sides, righties and lefties. He's got pop time. We talk about catcher defense. The only thing that really matters that you can actually change with catchers is arm. But even then, pop time is really what you need to get the quick transfer from catching the ball into a throwing motion, delivering it on to second or third, or he can't steal first. Will Smith is outstanding. Incredible swing, always been one of my favorites. And then that Mike Napoli. Really, Mike Napoli cards always start for me, except in this instance because Cal Raleigh unfortunately exists. But Mike Napoli is basically just a more powerful version of Will Smith, trading some of the contact for power. He does not have pop time, but he has a litany of other quirks. First pitch hitter, dead red breaking ball hitter as well, which are very valuable. So those three, in my opinion, are the best of the best. Napoli's a weekend classic reward. Will Smith you can get for like 5K on the market, which is pretty incredible. We move on down to B tier, and here you see a lot of the guys that have existed in this game for some time, particularly before this past week when everything has been changed, because so many great cards have came out. Switch hitters, Adley Rutschman, Carlos Santana, Jason Varitek, and Jorge Posada. I always say if you struggle righty-righty, lefty-lefty against the same handedness, switch hitters are going to have more value for you. It's just easier to hit, simply put. So that plays a little bit above lend whatever attributes they have, because you're just going to succeed more if you have a difficult time seeing the ball as a lefty batter like Joe Mauer against a lefty pitcher. Because I know a lot of people really try and prevent hitting lefty-lefty, especially with so many great pitchers that are left-handed in the game right now. So those switch hitters, they're great. You guys already know about them. Really, the only two new faces we have here is Hunter Goodman, which I like a lot. I mean, he's a catcher which actually has some speed, 76 speed. Now, that doesn't do much for you behind the plate, but it does help offensively. I always say speed is as much of an offensive stat as really anything else, because if you don't hit the ball over the wall, you're going to need that speed to turn a single into a double, and so on and so forth. So I think the Hunter Goodman's a very good card with a great right-handed swing, and you could play him in other spots too. He's a valuable bench piece. And then the York Irish. Really a big fan of him too. Same way, can play corner outfield if you wish. He's just got a lot of pop. He's got good contact both sides as well. You get him for 8 cards collected in the MLB draft collection. Very cheap. Probably as cheap as it could get. 0 stubs if you just play a little bit. A lot of great catchers that you're going to find at B tier. Once you move down to C, I think you noticeably get a little bit worse options. Caden Bodine and Luke Stevenson, new draft cards, as well as All-Star Alejandro Kirk. I just think that you could probably do better. Kirksey's got no pop. He's also got no speed. He's a cute little nugget behind home plate, though. A lower Hunter Goodman, still a good card, just not as good as the other one. And this one you can get for free. So why would you use the 93? O'Hoppy's always kind of fun. Salvi, pretty balanced hitting stats. And Yaz, of course, switch hitter. Just put him down a little bit of a peg because of the speed again. It is a kicker. Again, he hits lots of tanks, so you might not have to worry about it. But those times where he doesn't, he's going to really make you suffer on the base path. Move down to D tier. You still got some fine options, but once again, outdated for the most part. Ted Simmons, I love you, buddy. Cal Raleigh, the Lime Series. If you can't get the 99 Cal with an inside edge boost here or there, this card could serve some purposes. Could definitely dump some balls into the outfield seats, and then yet another Cal Raleigh. The game sure loves themselves some Cal, and I do too. I think he's by far and away the best catcher that you could find, but if you can't get him right now, you get Will Smith for literally quick sell value. That's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Let's move on to first base, where we've got 3 guys who I put a cut above, and that is Gil Hodges, who's been here all year. Mike Napoli, once again, party at Naps, a lot of fun. And then the new Cody Bellinger, which I really think this card is fantastic. You know how good Belly's swing is. And you give him 118, 110 contact, mid-90 to mid-100s power with 90-plus vision, near maxed out clutch. And he's a very good defensive first baseman. I think outfield is where I would want to play him because you're not utilizing the arm strength at first base, but it's not going to hurt, having that speed and defense at first base, even if it is a position that doesn't always require it. Cody Bellinger, always a fan favorite, and for good reason. He just plays so well. The attributes are S tier, and the swing always plays above the attributes as well. We'll go down to A tier. We've got some familiar faces once again. That Carlos Santana is back here. There's a lot of very good options, few great options at first base. Some of the very good ones. You've got 2 Matt Olsons, one with more fielding, the All-Star version, and one with more pop, being the Home Run Derby. Either way, great swing as a lefty. You're not going to go wrong there. You've also got 2 Vlads. You've got the Pipeline and the All-Star. The All-Star is going to have more contact, be a little bit more balanced. And then the All-Star has a little bit more power, I believe. Both very good. Awesome right-handed swing with some of the most quirks in the game. You got Yandy Diaz, like maxed out contact. I like his swing. Some people do not, but I certainly do enjoy it. Lance Berkman, if you want a switch hitter, he's definitely a good option. And that Prime collection is dirt cheap now, so you can get him very affordably. Gavin Fiend, don't sleep on him. Him and Ethan Conrad. Gavin is in the packs and Conrad is in the program. 2 awesome swings that you can get to play at first base, or Gavin Fiend, a couple of spots around the infield. Big Frank Thomas, the big hurt. He mashes lefties. He always plays really good D at first base. Sometimes you just need that big brick wall to knock stuff down, and it helps out. Then Freddie and Pete, couple more All-Star cards. Just have so many quirks in the game and always play well, no matter the attributes. B tier, you still got some good cards here. I really do like the Brendan Donovan. You'll see him at a handful of positions here. Awesome swing, really good contact against right, and overall 90s to mid-90s, everything else. So pretty good. You'll take that. Ryan O'Hearn. Both the Ryan O'Hearns I would recommend. Just that swing that always plays. The 92 does have more contact all the way around. The 96 is more pop. Depends on what you're looking for. But I always try to spread the gospel of Ryan O'Hearn. Nick Kurtz almost slipped up there. Would have been the last YouTube video right there. I can't believe that his parents, we talked about this before. How is that his name? Steve Kerr, why did you name your son what you did? Oh, it annoys me, man. Like, think, these are your kids. Kurtz is, he's really fun. Again, co-op legend. Mashes righties. He's like 80-80 against lefties, so you could do better there. Burleson is pretty fun. You've got Andrew Fisher. Nice lip sweater that he's got there. Jammer Candelario, jumping jammer. The ball jumps off the bat. Some good options. Once again, C tier. You got that Tony Taters. Once again, you got a lot of the C tier guys. Pretty good still. Fielder, Delgado, Chris Bryant. You could still use them, especially with a couple of parallels, but there's a lot better that you can get pretty reasonably too. D tier, you got a lot of the lower 90s that have been around for a while, and then down to the bottom barrel. F sounds harsh, but they're fine cards again. S tier, pretty fair. We'll see what the Mike Napoli settles at, but you could get him from Weekend Classic. But Cody Bellinger is free. You can just play throughout that July Spotlight program, and you're going to get one of the best of the best. Let's go on to second base, and in my opinion, again, this one is a league of his own. That is Ketel Marte. Just incredible. He has a price that fits that. He's $300,000. He's not cheap whatsoever, but man, is he good. He's certainly not reasonable or affordable for lots of people, and I don't know if you need to get him, but if you have the stubs for it, I would certainly recommend it. If you don't, though, A tier, there's also some really good cards here. Once again, not in particular order. Showzone, unfortunately, just shuffles them, so yeah, I probably would have like a Brooks Lee, even still, as the top contender to him. That Brooks, with all the new cards that have come out and all that hoopla, he's still just so good. I see that card and he murders me every single time that I face him. Pretty much maxed out contact and clutch, both sides, as well as really good power versus righties and playable versus lefties. Can play a handful of positions. Just a sweet lefty swing. Card is so good. Gavin Keelan, he's in that draft program. He's at the very end. Not the most pop, but enough. Kind of like if you put that Travis Bazzana 87 on steroids, that same archetype, where he's like a 5-tool player and has enough power to hit some home runs for you. Gleyber Torres, Gleyber cards are always very good. Bobby Grich, he's super cheap. We have a new Legend of Flashback collection coming out. If you're looking for a 2B, give him a shot. He's super cheap, and he's going to help you with collections as well. Ava Arquette, I really like him. He's got one of my favorite swings out of the draft cards. He just always punishes the ball. Feels like it's super easy to time up. Breggs, also that same kind of swing I always talk about. He's always going to at least get a try from me because his cards play so consistently. Jazz Chisholm, like his swing as well. That's a good one. Junior Caminero, he might be the heir to the throne. Next up in line to Ketel Marte. The problem is the defense, which, again, as I talk about, second base and shortstop, in my opinion, in the infield are the two most important spots because you've got so much ground to cover, more so than a third base or a first base, where the game sort of decides for you if they're going to make that play, and you don't really have a chance to get there. A lot of those are canned in animations, even for the best of the best defenders, and they just miss it. Played so much with that Nolan Arenado, and unfortunately, he is just not as noticeably better defensively compared to like a 70 fielding card, which sucks. I really wish they would prioritize that and make defense truly reign supreme to where you want to play a 95 rated defender over someone 70 and you're willing to risk a little offense. Again, they're getting closer, but third base, I just don't think matters quite as much as up in the middle. And that's just my experience from playing a shit ton of this game. Unfortunately, JoJo Parker, also a really nice card that you can get for like 10,000. Veava Aloy, also a killer. Couple of Hawaiian draft cards, which is pretty cool within the first round. So A tier, I think you can definitely find lots of value, lots of really good cards for cheap. B tier, you got the Dog, Brandon Lau. A super fun card, has good quirks and a great swing as well. Kason Cunningham, not as much power as I would like. Some of these draft cards do have some funky swings because they don't have their actual swings in, they just use a generic. Some of them are pretty tough to use, in my opinion. Some of them feel glitched. I think it is the Laviolette for the Guardians. His load it is non-existent. He does not have a load. It almost feels like he's swinging the bat with his legs still up in the air. It is super disorienting and makes it very hard to time up. Ketel Marte, he's always good, even the live series, especially Friday. We're back up on Inside Edge. Wenso Perez is also a nice option. He's like 5K. C tier, again, there's a lot of good cards here. It feels strange putting him in C. There's just a lot of new stuff, new shiny toys that you want to play with and are better. So Alfonso Soriano, Brian Dozier, CJ Abrams, Ian Kinsler definitely did not get quite the shine that they probably should have because we just jumped so quickly up in overalls, and unfortunately they get buried a little bit alongside some familiar favorites like that Jorge Polanco, Ozzy Albies. Move on to D tier. Certainly served their time, had their purpose, but just better options out at this rate. Second base, I think, is once again a very affordable position. Even if you can't get the top of the top, there's guys just a couple steps below that you can get for free or for like 5K, either or. Third base, I'm going to put two men atop S tier, and that is Ethan Holiday, son of Matt, brother of Jackson, of course. New draftee for the Rockies. That'll be interesting to see how they fuck him up. And then Jose Ramirez. Love J-Ram. I thought about putting J-Ram on his own, but man, that Ethan Holiday for me is pretty special. He might not be getting the shine that he deserves, Ethan Holiday, but he should. The collection isn't quite cheap, I would call it, but if you have stubs to play around with or just work yourself up to there eventually, I don't think he'll be outdated anytime soon, and you can play him in a couple of different spots. Then Jose Ramirez, you guys know about J-Ram. He's just so incredible each and every time. A tier, Brooks Lee, once again. Fantastic, awesome, love him. Junior Caminero, I would rather put him at third than put him at second base or shortstop. So if you want to use him, I'd put him at the hot corner, which again sounds weird, but with playing him for some time now and other Caminero cards, he always plays his best, and you don't notice him as much, which is ultimately the best thing at third base. So you can kind of hide him over there. Otherwise, you've got that Manny Machado, so good. He's 5K. The defense is not normally what you'd expect from a Machado, but the hitting is almost better than Scott Rowland, which feels wild to say, but it's true. And I personally like the swing a lot more. I know they changed Scott Rowland's swing around a little bit. People like it more than previously. Scott Rowland's still really good, but I sure do myself some Manny Machado. Willie Castro, Chipper Jones, a couple of switch hitters that I feel like are going to play high for some time. Again, switch hitting swings that happen to be some of the best in the game are always going to play above attributes, and they happen to have very good attributes. I mean, Willie Castro is a 93 that plays more like a 97, 98, because he's got all the stats that matter. Ellie to the Cruz, love the swing. Pretty much hundreds across the board offensively. Lower defense, which is unfortunate. Again, I'd rather play him at third base for that reason. B tier, a lot of guys. There's so many 3Bs. We talked about a good deal of them. The new Gary Sheffield can play outfield or third. I'd probably rather play him at third. I like the swing. I'm excited to try him out. You've got the Nolan Arenado that we talked about. I've been crazy with him offensively. I know that isn't the case for everybody. Corey Seager, always going to love him. Just one of my favorite swings. He's going to play above a 93. And again, if you are raking with a card, I wouldn't take him out just because something new came out. Let them get a chance to play off of your team. At least that's how I manage my roster. Terry Pendleton, Scary Terry. Not a ton of power, a lot of contact, a lot of vision, a lot of clutch. and a very sweet switch hitting swing. You got Rafi Devers. You've got Vlad once again, Caminero, JoJo Parker, Quentin Young. A bunch of fine options. Javi playing at third as well. Just so many 3Ps, so many cards in general. Where you really can't go wrong, I almost feel. It's insane that we've got C-tier 97s when these would have been S-tier probably like 2 weeks ago. But that's just the inflation of the card market in DD right now. There's so many good options. A lot of draft cards here, very similar attributes. You really just got to play around with the swings and see which ones you like. A couple that have pulled away from me. Veva Aloy, for example, Ava Arquette, Gavin Fiend. I think they've kind of got some of the cream of the crop swings that you're going to find. Colson Montgomery, kind of a fun 95. Cal Ripken Jr., really great contact. Not quite the defense you expect from a Cal card. We got the durability, of course. D-tier, some fun options. Certainly were a lot more fun a couple of months ago. Down to F-tier, which even these guys, I mean, you could use them. If you're good at, we're kind of at the point where if you're good enough at the game, anything that comes out, you could hit well with. Some are going to be more challenging, but they've got enough baseline attributes, especially with up to Parallel 5, they could play for the rest of the year for you, truly. S tier, we got Ethan, we got Jose Ramirez. JRAM could be free, but does take a lot of grinding from TA and the other all-star stuff. Otherwise, Chipper and Brooks are basically nothing on the market. They're like 5,000-6,000. And that Machado the same. Ellie de the Cruz in Team Affinity, really like the options at third base. We'll move on to shortstops, where we see the two same faces, and I'm going to put Ethan up to Ketel Marte. If, again, you struggle lefty-lefty, I would say get Ketel, prioritize him. But if you're a good lefty-lefty, if you feel comfortable, it is certainly a different beast, in my opinion, going lefty-lefty, even opposed to righty-righty. But if you could hit that, I think Ethan is just as good as Ketel Marte, because the attributes are fantastic on Ethan Holiday, and he's cheaper for that matter too. A tier, got some really good cards here. You got Eli Willits, first overall pick from the Washington Nationals at bright young 17 years old. You wouldn't know it playing with that card. Switch hitter, he's kind of like the Willie Castro, just a better defender. And a shortstop, you can truly play him just about anywhere. I'm going to put out a video, detailed and well visualized graphics, showcasing really what out of positions and what positions you can play these guys in. Generally speaking, shortstops you can play anywhere. I wouldn't do catcher. People say it's fine at first base. It's been hit or miss in my experience. I'd say probably don't do it. But for the most part, shortstops, especially high fielding out of the box, you can probably play him anywhere around the diamond. So that adds a ton of value to him. You can play short and center very easily. Extend that out to the corner outfield. Awesome swing. He's got top-notch speed as well. Really do like the Eli Willits. He's about 50-60K. He's going to cost you a little bit. Same old Francisco Lindor, except he's like 30K. Talked about it the other day. He's a tenth of the price of Ketel Marte. He's probably 9/10 the player. In my opinion, Lindor is one of the best value cards that you can find in the game. Because I certainly would put him, I almost put him at S tier. Just because I love Lindor and I think the community thoughts on him follow suit pretty much. He is so good. Mr. Smiles always makes me smile because he makes big plays and big opportunities, maxed out fielding potential. Ellie de the Cruz, also fantastic shortstop for you, B tier. Add in the O'Neal Cruz. He's tall. He's a big, lanky guy. His fielding is poor, but he can dive anywhere. He makes so many stops on those in-betweeners going in the 5.5 hole. They're bleeding up the middle. He can Superman dive, suction it up in his glove, and rifle one on. He's a lot of fun to use, really good at lefty swing. He is tall. People don't like the tall strike zones, but O'Neal Cruz is a lot of fun. You've also got Bobby Witt Jr., outstanding defense, 99. You're not going to have a better defender in the hole than Bobby Witt Jr. Awesome swing, basically every quirk of the game. And this one's got pop. This one's got more power as well. Move on down to C tier. Once again, you've kind of seen most of these cards at this point. Add in Willie Adames. This one's really good. I like his swing. The previous card he had wasn't great. This Willie Adames is a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed what I've got to use of him so far. Jacob Wilson, again, a guy who I spoke the praises of many, many times. You're probably sick of me saying it, but Jake Wilson, so much fun. I really do enjoy his cards, all of them. Banger after banger. Jeremy Pena, another really good shortstop that you can get that's going to have outstanding defense that plays so much above what his offensive ratings will. He has so much value defensively that just adds to that card. Get good offense, elite defense. That makes a very great card. D tier, once again, you've got a lot of good cards here. I hate putting these there, but they are. I mean, they are not up to snuff as these ones. Even in C tier, there's so many good shortstops, and that's a big reason to the MLB draft. Obviously, most of these young players, a lot of high schoolers especially, they're listed as shortstops. You know, they're the best athletes. They get drafted high. They've got lots of potential, and eventually they move on to different positions. But they're drafted out of high school or in college in some cases too. They usually have more defined positions by then. But they're usually shortstops coming out. And, you know, that floods the market for shortstops. There's so many. And let me know some of your favorite MLB draft cards. I've used most of them, I would say all but just a couple. Like I've used Merrick Houston, Casey Cunningham, Steele Hall. I've used Quentin Young. I've used Sean Curley, Daniel Pierce. Used Billy Carlson, pretty much all of them. And a lot of them are so good. Again, F tier, these are not bad cards. There's just so many great shortstops. And yeah, you're not going to go wrong here. I think Alley's a great one that you could pick up. I really do recommend the Ethan Holiday or Willits or Lindor, who you could get for not too much. Here we go. The outfield. Once again, all the outfielders I'm just going to list here because it is really impossible otherwise to divvy them up. Showzone doesn't even let me put that many cards in a certain tier list. So we have to just fill them all in, file them in line. Obviously, center field, you're going to want more fielding, more speed than the corner outfield spots. And if you're going to have a poor corner outfielder, you better have an elite defender in center field to help them out. Because in my opinion, if you have 60 fielding, 60 reaction, 60 speed in left field, but you've got like 99 fielding, 99 speed, like a Beltran, a PCA, it elevates the corner outfielder so much because there's that much less ground that they have to cover. Keep that in mind. Also, the ballpark you play in. If you play at a huge ballpark, probably don't want to play Schwarber in left field. But anyway, outfield S tier, Beltran, Tedrick, and Ketel Marte. Carlos Beltran, he can only be matched, never be topped. You're just not going to get better than near max out contact, about 110 power at parallel 5. Vision clutch out the wazoo with maxed out fielding and speed with the kind of switching and swing he has. He's so good. Ketel Marte, he's close. He's not the kind of defender, especially in the outfield. I would try and play Ketel, even though he does not have the secondary. Play him at the corners, and you'll thank me later. He doesn't have the kind of speed you need to play center field. And then Ted Williams. This card's actually good defensively. Obviously, the hitting we knew was going to be fantastic. Those hitting attributes rivaled only by Cal Raleigh, really, which I think Cal's probably a better hitter in the game than Ted Williams. But the defense for Ted in left field is very solid, very good. A tier, Aaron Judge. They did it. They actually made a viable defensive Aaron Judge, which he's been good. He's been pretty good this year in the corners. He's just not a center fielder. He played there out of necessity for the Yankees. He looks much more comfortable back at home in right field. He's plenty good defensively. Again, would be nice to have a center fielder to help him out, but certainly playable. He's got better reaction by like 30. I would never see Judge get anything but like the 5-second delay. It'd be like he's lagging, and then he would get a move on. The home run derby cards. O'Neal Cruz, Brett Rooker particularly, who are not good defensively. Use at your own risk. They are awful. same as Kyle Schwarber, they are terrible defensively. And from using them, they get awful animations. They don't really, especially Rooker and Schwarber, they don't have the speed to make up for their awful reactions. And sometimes they flat out miss the ball, like you see in this clip with James Wood. Just ran it down, same as always, like I've done a billion times at the game. But he gets locked into an animation where he overruns the ball and drops it. Luckily, he did throw him out, though. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. So maybe they are good defensively, just in their own way. Awesome hitters. I mean, these are endgame type hitters. Neil Cruz, Byron Buxton, Brent Rooker, Kyle Schwarber. But they're probably not endgame cards because you're going to eventually get that hitting paired with good defense. But right now, if you want to play him in a corner and have a Beltran in center, have a PCA in center, I think you're going to be fine. And you're going to have some of the best hitting of the game. Bellinger, again, spoke the praises of him. Mickey Mantle. Call me crazy, I don't love Mickey Mantle's swing all that much. And I usually pitch to him pretty effectively. He doesn't really burn me too much. I feel like that card, it's so funny, this chase card, everybody lost their shit. And he pretty immediately got like wiped out. He's still good, but there's so many cards that you can get alongside him. Juan Soto Lightning, of course, is fantastic. Shohei, you can play him in the outfield. He's going to play just as well as a lot of the Moonshot cards or the Home Run Derby. So don't feel like you have to DH him, but you probably should. A lot of great hitting cards here in the outfield, of course. B tier. These would be S tier at some positions, and they're in B. You got Andrew McCutchen. Love Kutch. He's so good. Corbin Carroll. The Lightning was amazing. This one is even better. The James Wood, I had to move him down a peg, personally, because he missed that ball. But I don't like him quite as much offensively as the others, and his defense is a step below those others as well. You've got the mini seasons Kyle Schwarber, which is just not as good and is harder to get than the 99, so no reason to get him. Pete Crow Armstrong, I love him personally. And again, that's what I'm saying. Even though the attributes are not amazing, they're good enough at this point where you can play with them. Like he's almost, well, he's like 100 against righties, and he's got solid enough against lefties where if you are good with the swing, if you can time it up, you can still be effective with them. So I do like the PCA, and you will not find a better defender. Ike Irish, Ethan Conrad, Gavin Fein, of course. Awesome cards from the MLB Draft Series. You've got the Tim Raines. I didn't really get a chance to use this card much because he got fizzled out so quickly, which is a shame, but a testament to how great the All-Star content is and was. C tier, once again, you've got really good cards. That Harper, Hank Aaron, Ian Happ, the Sammy Sosa, DePaula, Laviolette. You've got some mashers, just not quite as good as the others. But Harper's always going to have a special place in my heart. Probably one of my favorite cards. Always came up with me this year whenever I needed him to get a big hit. Really do like that Harper, and I can't wait until we get yet another great Harper. Then move on to D tier. Again, you got really good cards here, especially at one point. They're just phased out. And in many cases, there's better versions of them, like the Aaron Judge, like the Buxton, like the James Wood, this Ryan O'Hearn, even though I think the other one is maybe not as good as that one. Acuna, there should be a new Acuna, but for some reason, All-Star Game in Atlanta, like, no. He's like the only All-Star, one of the very few. I know there's like Trevor McGill for the Brewers, Mizorowski for the Brewers. Acuna was one of the only guys that didn't get another card. How, SGS? It was a slam dunk. They threw you the alley-oop, and he hit nothing but air. Fun cards at a point. Could still use them. Some of the attributes are still pretty good on some of these, but yeah, I mean, outfield, you know how deep it is. You do need 3 slots, but I don't think you're going to have any issue. Rooker might as well be free, really. Bellinger is free. Same as Sheffield. Same as Tucker. Same as Schwarber. Same as Soto. Yeah, you're not going to go wrong there. So many good outfielders. On to the starting pitchers. My favorite controversy every single time. And I use all these pitchers. I always do make it a point to try every pitcher. Even if I don't like the pitch mix and I say they're not going to be good, I still try them because maybe I'm wrong. And the mechanics are a big thing. How the ball releases from the hand and how that works in the tunneling process, making pitches really differentiate from each other at the last second, how the pitch speeds meld together. That's a very important part of it. Offline doesn't really matter. Online absolutely matters because you're facing a human, not a computer. You face a computer, even on high difficulties, you can pretty much just throw in the same thing every time, and almost every time they're not going to hit it. Humans are different. We adjust. So maybe there's a reason why AI shouldn't take over everything. S tier, I had a hard time whittling it down to 5, I'm going to be honest, because there's so many good pitchers here. I mean, Clemens is a no doubt. Same as Kershaw. I really do like Kershaw. He's not as good as the 99 Clemens, but he's pretty damn great. John Donaldson. I know he might be a little easier to hit than some of these guys on All-Star. If you face a P5, which is essentially a 95 John Donaldson on Legend, good luck. 104 fastball down to an 83 forkball with a 96 slider. That is just the filthiest stuff in the game. And that's not even accounting for his sinker and his slow breaking ball. John Donaldson, I can only recommend him so much. So that is why he is here, even though he's only a 90. Al Leiter. He's another one of those guys you see all the time at the game, and he's always tough to hit. Just tunnels so effectively as a lefty with good command, and he's got a little zip on those fastballs as well. Corbin Burns, this is one of the 399 starting pitchers in the game, I believe. And yeah, he plays like it. Again, that sinker cutter combo. He's got the outlier as well. Break outlier too. Double outlier, one velo, one break. Attributes are so great. Pitch mix is so effective. He's like the righty Garrett Crochet, who's probably my favorite all-star card from the drop. He dices, he slices, got the ideal pitch mix and the attributes to back it up too. Greg Maddux, he's a low velo guy, but you can throw everything in the zone exactly where you want, and that goes so far. That really is going to help you out in a bind. You can't really make mistake pitches with Maddux unless you mess up your pinpoint, because the par, that perfect accuracy region, that shaded circle, is just so small. It's so tight on all of his pitches. And then Roy Halladay, the Doc, kind of in the same respect as Maddux, not quite as accurate, but a little bit better per nines as well. Really do like the Roy Halladay card. A tier. Got a lot of the all-star stuff. You've still got that Randy Johnson, who's a lot more affordable now if you really like the Randy cards. This one's still very good, even 3 months later. And then you got all-star Chris Sale. So effective with that arm slot, that slider, that changeup, that sinker. Oh, he's so good. Logan Webb, pitch to contact pony. He's not going to get many strikeouts. You'd be hard-pressed to get more than like 3 in a start. But I also very rarely give up more than 3 runs in a start with Logan Webb. He just is very difficult to get a barrel, to get a read on, just like in real life. He's got the pitch mix that translates very well into the game. Paul Skeens, the best Skeens they've released by a mile this year. He's got the changeup and the splitter, has the outlier, and he's also got the sinker. So the best of both worlds from his other 2 high diamond cards, the Live Series and the Takeover, and just melding them into really what a Paul Skeens card should look like, because this is how he pitches in real life. Still minus a couple pitches. Zach Wheeler, the same thing. They finally made Zach Wheeler pitch like Zach Wheeler. And now you'll perform with him like Zach Wheeler, like a Cy Young. Tarek Skubal, this is just better than the Lightning. Again, it takes practice, and that's the biggest thing I can say. When you're pitching, really look at them throwing that baseball on pinpoint. Look at how they draw, how fast it is, and replicate that speed. Even if it takes you 1 or 2 times every pitch, you're going to get that down, and it's not going to be a big deal to replicate that motion out of the stretch. So the All-Star cards are awesome. Kyson Witherspoon, Liam Doyle, They're very much the same pitcher, just different handedness. Outlier fastballs, 14-mile-an-hour drop-off on the cutter, which is disgusting, and great K per 9. I think they're both really fun to use. B tier. That Brandon Woodruff, you're probably not going to remember that card even came out, but he's good. He's got a really nice pitch mix that plays very effectively. Drew Rasmussen, kind of the same way, just not the same attributes, but I do like that card. Hunter Brown, also a nice piece from the All-Stars. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he's got cutter-sinker combo this time around. Max Fried, he does as well. You can throw lots of dots with him. Chris Bubich, he's really tough to pick up on with his mechanics. Fernando Valenzuela, of course, the junk baller with the deadly screwball. A couple of draft cards, Jamie Arnold, Kane Anderson, and Tyler Bremner. They're good with good attributes, but I don't think their pitch mixes are quite as good as they could be, and they are a little expensive as well. Nate Pearson, he's got that death-defying drop-off on that changeup, a good 20-plus mile-an-hour off-speed, which is so nasty, so gross. And then Tom Terrific, underrated. He's going to come back around and be a freebie in the multiplayer path next week. Give him a shot. His attributes are getting outdated, but still a very fun pitcher to use. As we always say, overall shield never matters that much, especially so with pitchers. It's the intangibles. It's the mixes. It's the differentials on speed. Those are the difference makers. Obviously, higher overall typically means better attributes, but also how they're allocated is a big impact of that as well. Once again, C tier, you've got a lot of good pitchers here. I really like that Sandy Alcantara. Juan Marishall's a super tough junk baller to pick up on sometimes when he's throwing dots. You've got the Joe Ryan, who I like. Pedro Martinez, I've really enjoyed that card as well. They're just losing a little bit in the category of not having the best possible pitch mix. And, they're a little bit easier to read typically, or the attributes like these 93s just aren't up to snuff with the stuff that's currently in the game. And that puts you at a disadvantage when your hit 9 is lower than your opponent's batter's contact, for example. Then D tier, a lot of this resolves around pitch mix issues. They've either got only 4 pitches, they don't have one of the ones you need. I think you really do got to have that sinker or a cutter. For the most part, 9 times out of 10, the best pitchers are going to have one of those. And if they don't, they've got something else that makes them great, like Randy Johnson with his delivery that helps them out a ton. Mizorowski is really fun 4-pitch pitcher, but he's pretty much whittled down to 2 because the curveball's not that effective in the game. They really got to buff curveballs in the changeup. You could aim for that to be on the black. It could go down the middle or it could be a pitch out. He is so inaccurate in the game. That's why I would have liked to see him get an all-star card, maybe a little bit better. But yeah, wound out on pitchers. Once again, starting pitcher remains a pretty affordable position. That Leiter is pretty much free. The Kershaw is free. The Maddox is free. John Donaldson is free. Halladay is free. And a lot of these guys have been getting a lot more affordable. Chris Sale, he's basically quick sell. Carson Witherspoon, he's just going to cost 15 draft cards, which is super easy to do. Wheeler, Paul Skeens, they're both team affinity. You're going to have no trouble at the starting pitcher spot. Let's move on to the guys coming out of the bullpen, where we did see some heads turn here. For righties, I still think Devin Williams is one of my favorites. He's got the velocity 97 four-seam with a great cutter and the screwball to throw him off of everything. Devin Williams and the slider as well. Another breaking ball to just keep them off of that screwball, to always keep them guessing. The screwball could be varied in its accuracy, but nonetheless, he's so tough to hit. He's been my closer even still with all these cards that have came out. Felix Bautista, man, I swear to God, the way he pitches, the ball just teleports out of his hand. He's a power pitcher, very 12 o'clock motion. He's straight up delivery, and that's really tough when he's throwing that 104 fastball and he's mixing in that forkball and the sinker slider. He's really good, and he's starting to come down in price. I was able to get him, and man, am I happy for it. Joe Nathan, He's actually like the highest overall reliever, at least righty in the game right now, but he's very expensive. He's awesome. I really do like Nathan. I would like him more if he was in a Twins uniform. But that's a fantastic pitch mix with hundreds on hit K, BB, and maxed out pitch clutch. He's great. He's just going to cost you. A tier, Andres Munoz. Deadly. Man, is he tough to hit with the velocity and hit per nine, K per nine pitch clutch that he's got. He's good. Lee Smith. Again, what we're talking about, that fastball, the cutter, and then the forkball. He's nasty. That Lee Smith is always one of my favorite relievers in the game. Randy Rodriguez, really nice, pretty much free-to-play option. Darren O'Day, I think he is starting to finally get outdated with that 91 overall. The attributes are still good, especially with some parallels. But I have been having a little bit more trouble, and I've had an easier time picking him up. Maybe it's just that thing. You see him more often. You get more acclimated to him. I'm not sure. He's still great, just not quite up to the top level, in my opinion, anymore. B tier, Ben Joyce, awesome. Really do like him. Evan Phillips, I wish he had a changeup that put him up a notch, but still a fun card. Griffin Jax might be the best sweeper in the entire game. A bunch of cards that Ryan Helsley's free now. He's 5K. I call it free. I understand it's not free, but you could get in the multiplayer path with your choice for free, is what we're talking about there. Emmanuel Clase, I don't know, man. I just felt like this card's BP. I hit tanks off him every single time. Maybe my opponents just aren't using him right, but then I use him, and he also gives up tanks. I don't know. Just it's like real life. Emmanuel Clase is getting figured out. He's having a tough year. C tier, once again, solid pitchers, bunch of pretty decent options down to D tier as well. I would do the split at 5 righties, 3 lefties. Let me know in the comment section what you like to do with your bullpen. How many righties do you carry? How many lefties? The 3 that I currently employ is going to be Aroldis Chapman, Andrew Miller, and Aaron Bummer. That's my 3 that I carry with me. I think Chapman's the best. I love the Miller, but Aroldis Chapman, this card is just different. He's so good. Man, oh man, do I dread seeing him come in. This one particular because he can throw dots so many times. He can just plant it right on the black because this one has the BB9 and the pars are tight enough to where you can get the pitches where you want them to go, and he's still got the double outlier fastball and sinker, and then couple in the splitter and slider. Man, is he so good. Lefty, lefty, lefty on righty. He's so tough. Andrew Miller, kind of the same thing, just a little bit more deceptive, little side armor-ish mechanics, and not quite the velocity of Aroldis Chapman, but different and very tough in his own way. Aaron Bummer, he's just kind of a junk baller that can put the ball on a dime. He's great. We had him in S tier prior. He's pretty close to it. Adrian Morejon, all-star this year. That card is also very good. Sinker cutter combo. You're really going to like him. And he's really dropped a ton in price. Same as Justin Wrobleski. Also in that June retro flashback collection. You've got the other Chapman. You've got a 97 hater alongside the 90 hater alongside yet another hater. He's great lefty-lefty. I do read him pretty easily when I'm hitting with the righty. Otherwise, Danny Coulombe's good. Matt Strom is good. If you're going to have 3 lefties, I think you're going to have no trouble whether you interchange them a little bit from what I do. But ultimately, let me know what you guys do in the comment section. The Gomer trademarked 1-hour tier list. Once again, we're hitting our quota. I tried to speed this one up. I guess we did not do a very good job of that. But either way, thank you for watching this one as always. Man, they just put out so many great all-star draft and home run derby cards. And then the update after, you know, like the Burns and the Bellinger, those guys that came out this Wednesday, they've completely flipped Diamond Dynasty on its side. We have kind of thrown away the power creep, and we've gotten to 99s. We're right up near the end game at this point with some of the cards that we're getting. And once again, let me know some of your favorites down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.